Chief already paid.
Welcome to the.
They're away. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that was the joint meeting. Budget. Never mind, who cares? All right, welcome to the April 1st, 2024 regular meeting of the Lyman Select Board. This meeting is a public proceeding and is being recorded. Not an April Fool's joke.
It's not a
Would
joke.
you- Yeah, exactly. Would you all join me with these five?
Okay, have fun.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Keith Carson's weather forecast this morning, I was waiting for the.
Never
happened.
came, did it?
Never happened. Sounds like we do.
Get down.
I'm gonna make a motion that we take item number 6-A out of order and start with that.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, you're up.
Thank you. Good evening. I have two things. The first is an invoice from Mechanical Services to replace the third circulator pump, which has been replaced. Just looking for that to be paid out of the capital building fund for the fire department. The total 50% of the invoice is $1,144.16.
Did we just approve payment for the circulators?
Yeah.
Last week, last
Uh,
meeting?
2 weeks ago, it was the expansion tank, 2 relief valves, and a circulator pump. And this time it's just the circulator pump. So this is the third one that's gone in 2 or 3 months.
Fabulous.
That's how they all were installed at the same time.
Are they
All
over-circulating,
figured out
or-
At the same time.
Are they
Think
not
we're done
under
now?
warranty?
No.
A new one isn't warranted?
No, when was that, 10
No,
years
no,
ago?
no. There's 3 separate ones and.
Right. It's been
Just
3
been
different
phasing
ones.
out.
Oh, 3 different ones.
Yes,
Oh,
it's
okay.
not the
I'm like,
same one.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
I get what you're saying.
Okay.
No, it's 3 different ones.
3, okay.
Yeah, there's 3 zones, 3 pumps.
Yeah.
On that furnace, and then
Yeah, it wasn't
We got
replaced.
2
One that was already
furnaces.
replaced. I knew that's where
Okay.
you would
I'm
be.
like, yeah, I was like, are we replacing
This
this?
is on the new.
Okay,
this is on the newer side of the fire station.
okay.
I'd be so moved for that request.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. The last thing I have tonight is looking for up to $500 from the hydrant account. For over a year now, I've been working with a gentleman that's been assigned to us through a grant with the United States Forestry and Forest Guild to install a dry hydrant in town. Basically, it's $5,000. The grant will pay $5,000 towards the installation. But he's done 2 assessments for us already, and neither have worked out. So the grant can't pay for another assessment. So if we can pay for the assessment, then we can get the $5,000 in the grant if this one so works out.
So when you say 2 other assessments on different locations?
On different locations,
Okay.
one on the Fry's Bridge Road and one on Barker's Pond.
Okay,
This one will be on Kennybunk Pond, hopefully in the town parking lot, because that's where we've run into problems is private landowners.
Yeah.
So this one, hopefully, if it works out, the first step is figuring out if it's going to be a plausible site for the grant money. Will be on town property in the Kennybunk Pond parking lot. And then we can decide if you guys are okay with that. I mean, if you don't want it there, then I guess there's no sense in spending $500, but that's the next site we want to investigate.
Make a motion that we approve up to $500 for the hydrant study at Game on Phone.
A second.
Any discussion?
Just, that's coming from the hydrant fund, correct?
Correct.
I didn't say that.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you. Questions for me? All right. Have a good evening.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chief?
Thank you, Chief.
Thanks for coming.
See you Thursday,
Sign for this later
Yeah.
on?
Probably.
I'm gonna leave this here just to remind you to ask for need something to sign for that later?
No, Jeanette has the invoice.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Sorry.
All right, well, there is no one, so we're going to two. All right, so moving on, let's go to item 2, public input. Public in attendance will have up to 5 minutes to address the board. Please use the podium. Tom, you want to go?
Good evening. I'd just like to read a memo that I gave to Lindsay earlier. It's from Lyman Planning Board member Don Hernan to Lyman Town Manager Select Board, subject term ending as Planning Board member. It's been my privilege to serve as a member of the Lyman Planning Board since November of 2008. My current appointment ends in June 2024. I do not desire to be appointed to another term. I believe it is time for me to step aside, not that I'm getting any older, so that another town resident may serve on the planning board. It is my sincere hope that the planning board will continue to evaluate applications in a fair, impartial manner in accordance with the Lyman zoning ordinances that are approved by the town voters. Also, at your leisure, please appoint another planning board member as liaison with the Ordinance Review Committee. Respectfully, Don Hernan. I'm sending a copy to the chair of the planning board, the Ordinance Review Committee, and also to the admin CEO. And it's not, just is because I have a birthday this month, but it's not today, just for information. It's a little later. It's a little later this month. It's not April 1st, but
Could have fooled me.
it's time. So anyway, I've enjoyed it. And I would like to just say for a second here, the planning board meets, for those thousands of people watching my back of my head, meets twice a month. We have regular meetings. The job is to enforce the zoning ordinances, which is zoning ordinance, shoreline zoning ordinance, street sometimes, we get involved with street ordinance, and then subdivision, development and subdivision standards, which is not an ordinance, but which controls the construction of subdivisions in the town. And the ordinances are certainly not perfect by any means. They're being reviewed by the Ordinance Review Committee. They're making some progress. It's going to take a while. But the planning board has very little discretion, except for in shoreline zoning, when there's an issue about how far a house being remodeled has to be back from the water line. So there's a bit of discretion there, but you have to follow the rules. So all I'm saying is I think it's a good board to be on for those many people watching. It is a paid position, so that presumably if somebody sues you, you can say you're a town employee at minimum wage, of course, but pays for the libations occasionally. So anyhow, I think it's a good thing to be on, and we have good people on there now. I think we need one more alternate currently, but I just want to let you know that, it's time. So I just want to give you notice so you can start looking or advertising if you want to for some additional people to be on the planning board. So that's my 2 cents. Thank you.
Don.
Thank you, Don, for
See you.
your
I really
service.
appreciate your service to this town.
Well,
It's been a long time because you weren't just on the planning board. You served
Yeah.
in other capacities previous to that, and I appreciate that as a
thank you.
citizen.
Yeah, And I gotta say one thing about this select board, it's not the worst I've dealt with, so.
Thanks, Don.
Thanks, Don. Yes, thank you.
No, but you're right. I've done some other committees too, and I've done a little damage here and there. But I'm still on the comprehensive plan committee, and I'd like to stay on that till, hopefully we can get that wrapped up, the revision.
I do have something that you
Oh.
deserve all the credit in the world for, and that was in my first term. I don't remember exactly when. It was you that coined the beer truck phrase
Oh.
originally,
Well, yeah,
and we still use that today.
so
So
good. And
we
I hope you'll-
appreciate
I
that.
hope you won't be offended, but I have a couple other meetings scheduled for this week. They may go away because of the snow, so I'm gonna sort of leave you to your business. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Good evening, Joe Wagner, 26 Day Road. First, let me say it's been an honor to work with Don Hernan on the planning board. Don's contributions to this town are beyond measure. Charter Commission, comprehensive plan. His whole life has been about public service, starting at the Naval Academy and his career in the United States Navy. He's a model of integrity, a model of public service.
I'm gonna have to clean up my act here.
Oh, heck no. Thank you, Don. Regarding item 5A on tonight's agenda, the franchise agreement, one possibly overlooked provision of LD 1967 directs the State Department of Financial and Administrative Services to draft a model franchise agreement for municipalities. Now, Mr. Vigu mentioned at the previous select board meeting that this law will not go into effect until sometime in July. And it's probably not likely that the state will roll out a model franchise agreement at that time. Now, I'm not suggesting any further delay in the select board's adoption of a franchise agreement, but whatever the board does adopt should later be compared to the model that the state will provide sometime into the future. Another provision within the LD 1967 removes the exclusive franchise agreement with any one video service provider. To my point of view, anyone who does do business in the town to provide that type of service should make it available to everybody. My understanding is there are some locations in town that a service from the current provider is not available or, prohibitive. After coming out of executive session at the March 18th meeting, the select board voted to appoint the current treasurer to the position of Finance and Human Resources Officer. This action was described as not the creation of a new position, nor as a consolidation of positions, but merely a title change as a means to assign previously unassigned administrative responsibilities. I asked that the board identify those previously unassigned administrative responsibilities. It would also be helpful to describe how this renamed position will be compensated in the upcoming fiscal year. Also, I noticed that the position of administrative assistant is presently advertised on the Lyman website. I thought that position had been filled within the past year, and quite ably so. Now, if that relates to some reorganization, proposed reorganization of the town administrative structure, it would be helpful to provide an organizational chart of that proposed revised administrative structure so that it can be compared with the organizational chart that is on the town charter. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'd like to expand on that a little bit, if that's okay. Just kind of want to go back to, and I think I've said this before, but employees that work for the town listen to these meetings. So I just want to kind of caution when we're talking about employee positions or anything to do with employment in the town, they hear it, and sometimes we all perceive things differently. So, I'm a big contender of, retention, recruitment, and we also want to make this like a safe environment for people to work in. So I don't want people to feel like if they're listening out there, the board, myself, I can speak for myself, I'm not like criticizing anyone or trying to, stir anything up. But every time these things, like it's come up with my position quite a bit, it was contention when we shifted to a new town clerk. And so I've had to spend a lot of time talking with employees about, feeling okay to work here. So I understand like people can bring their opinions to the public meetings and that's fine. I respect anyone's opinion, but we're trying to promote a nice working environment for everybody. So it doesn't feel good to be like questioned all the time. And
I
that's my
didn't-
2 cents.
I didn't take it in that vein. I took it as more of a curiosity as to why we did what we did, and I don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly.
I thought that was explained.
Yeah,
I mean, it was repeated back to us, I thought fairly accurately. But, I
well,
also think that in the facts of contention in the past, that maybe we as a board did not offer the public enough information to clarify things, and maybe that was someplace where we could do a little bit better.
yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm okay with, anybody can come to me with any, suggestions or, issues or concerns. I'm only putting this out there because I hear it on the other side, right? So you guys don't usually get this feedback, but I get a lot of employees that come to me, they do watch these meetings. And our perceptions are our realities. So even though somebody comes with an opinion, and to me, it's just an opinion and it's fine, but other people perceive things differently. So I'm just kind of putting that out there to caution that.
Yeah, I guess I'll jump in just for, this is going against what we're supposed to be doing on these 5 minutes of thing. So Chair, are you okay with this? Okay, I hear both sides. The public has, the right to come up and say something. I think what happens is, and I know where Lindsay's coming from, when employees see that, she says perception is reality. It almost sounds like we're doing something wrong in what we've done. I think that's what, is kind of, people hear, oh, geez, what'd they do that for? And I think that gets people talking. We all know office politics and office talking. They go, what are the selectmen doing? So I think we just need to be careful of that. And we've come a long way in the town hall for morale purposes, and it's going in the right direction. And if you're saying you're hearing this from meetings, we just need to be aware of it.
And instead of like coming publicly, right, to like question everything, you have a town manager.
Yep.
And I'm always like willing to answer questions, and anyone, if you want to call and ask about, why is this posted on the, internet? Why is this going on? I'm always happy to answer questions. And that way it doesn't get blurted out publicly, and then the employees don't hear it and they don't think, oh, why are they talking about this? What's going on? It just eliminates that whole feeling, like yucky feeling. So I've said it once before, I'll say it again. My door is always open. Anybody
said it more
can
than
come
once.
ask me. Yeah, call me, drop by my office, send me an email, write me a letter. I don't care. Just ask me questions. I'm right here.
And we had a conversation earlier this past week, did we not?
Oh, we certainly did, but it wasn't any of those things. So yeah, I just, I'm trying to help make employees feel like they want to be here.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I also respect that you are the town manager, and I understand your point when you say, I've said this before, and that's because I think I spoke to that last meeting or so. So at what point do we let the town manager be the town manager? I think this is probably a little bit of that growing pain that we've had, and it's still a little pain.
Yeah.
And I could do better with that too.
Yeah. And I'm not criticizing anybody by coming out and saying this. It's feedback that I get on the other side that I've gotten a couple of times, and I just felt like it's time to try to figure it out.
Duly noted.
Hey, Chief.
Thank you.
Just saying that. Let's move on to item 3. minutes approved.
You it.
Review the items. I'll just let me.
Yeah.
Read that.
Oh, we're not gonna
Oh,
read this
yeah.
tonight?
No reading that.
Sand and salt sheds.
Weird.
Hey,
Nice looking one, by the way.
All right, no one was absent, so we're all here. So review and approve meeting minutes from 3/18/2024.
This is when I made a billion motions.
I make a motion that we accept the minutes as written.
A
I was-
second. Oop, sorry, Jessica.
So correct.
Any discussion on it? All in favor?
I read it 3 times, so.
Right? How many times can you read your own name?
You know. Like, man, how many seconds can I pull off in one meeting?
We had a little system going.
Yeah, we did roll right through that.
All right, let's move on to item 4. Payroll warrant number 37 in the amount of $27,247.23.
I make a motion to approve payroll warrant number 37 in the amount of $27,247.23.
Thank you, Amber.
Second.
Tony seconds, thank you. Any discussion? No? All in favor?
I
All right.
didn't want to hog the seconds.
You keep me smiling, kid. You keep me smiling. You
I
always-
can't help it. If I can't have fun, I'm not doing it. I've told you.
I love it. Great. All right, let's go on to item B, account payable warrant number 38 for the year. I can't really get for the year end 2024 in the amount of $647,375.80.
So moved.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Question. Where did the think pads go?
Oh, that was going to be my question.
ThinkPad, so we upgraded some computers that need to be commissioned,
Okay,
outdated. So I got one, GA got one, that hasn't been commissioned yet. The assessor got one.
And those are in the replacement schedule anyway, correct?
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
these
this
are
is-
they're not the ones that we have. These are
No, they're way better.
think pad, yeah.
It's a laptop.
It's a laptop,
Yeah.
but it's smaller than the laptops that,
It's for.
the boat anchors that we have.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I have a question. At what point will I not be shocked by the amount of money that the school gets?
I don't think anyone has any.
Tells never.
Unless
Okay,
it
thank
comes in- Unless it comes in at 0.
Yeah.
That will never happen. I
Okay.
don't expect that. I was just curious because I did a double take twice today looking at that.
Number. Crazy.
It's almost $500,000
Yep.
for a month.
All in favor?
I
All right. Okay. Let's go on to item 5. Franchise agreement, if anything, I don't think we really.
Tony did send me an email today, and so he's reviewing the agreement we've been looking at, so he drafted like a letter for Shelley. We'll send out, say, hey, we made some slight modifications to the ordinance amendment. The law changes are gonna come in effect around July, so we're gonna revisit this in July and make sure everything kind of, is copacetic, and, so I have a letter from Tony that I'll send out to Shelley that came in earlier today.
Cool.
He's on top of it. He's really good.
He is.
Yeah.
He's been very helpful. I really, he's done,
Agreed.
He
put in the
holds
time.
knowledge that nobody else wants. The guy just has knowledge that nobody else. That's cool. All right, good. I'd love to see that off. Oh, my goodness. All right, let's move on to B, discuss bungnet booth repairs, update any, these updated, ooh, these are
Did you make specs?
Yes, and.
Well, that's what you said you were gonna
Yeah,
do last
yeah.
meeting, so I was asking.
I did it like at the crack of dawn the next morning. I was like,
They look like this. I just put them
This
in a nice
little
corner.
thing.
So I think only 2 responded. I did reach out to the place in Vermont. They did not respond. I reached out again. I think Michelle said she reached out a couple of times, so they didn't respond. So I got
Okay.
Shed Happens and Hillview are the ones who came in.
This is all yours.
That's the one.
yeah, it was the windows really that I just
And-
called out, but
Yeah, I did them as like
Or-
line items so that we could also like
that is great.
remove some stuff if we need to. But I think the window sizes were the bigger issue.
I like this, booking delivery estimate.
Yeah, this
This
is
was
great.
looking better than that other one.
Hillview, I think they didn't quite have the sliding window and the size we were asking for. They had a 36 by 36 instead of the 48 by 35.
I pulled the numbers at the Home Depot.
Okay.
what
And
they had in
then
stock, so it wasn't
the
really.
front window, they said they had a bigger egress window. Oh, 36 by 60 instead of the 33 by 36. So their window sizes came in a little different because they didn't have anything in stock that matched the sizes we had in the spec sheet.
Well, one egress is all you need.
You doing the math, Jess?
Yeah.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I had some problems with the math too when I was looking at this. For Shed Happens, the email said that the very first email, I think it was, from her, said that it's an 8x8 gable A-frame, 2736. But on here, it's now 2992. Do we know if there was like a time limit on the first?
I don't know, but we've kind of asked them for so many quotes and
Yeah.
like changing it.
But I think too,
Probably the
it's,
price of
it's
lumber.
probably because, right, we
Plus-
changed the sizing on the walls and the windows. Because we got very specific.
Yeah. And,
How's the price of lumber been?
building materials change as well.
Yeah, it's creeping slowly, but it's okay. Yeah. But this is like, at least we know we're getting what we want.
Yes.
It's not when it gets here, like, oh, man, I wish that was bigger.
Well, in the door, the 36 by 6'8" fiberglass door, is that the same as their single pre-hung fiberglass entry door with lock set for $594? Is that an upgraded?
I copied that right from their specs, and I did the same thing with the LP smart siding, they both offered it. So I
Their
just-
prices seem different from the first quote.
Yeah, that's what I was,
Um,
so,
What did we call it? Oh, she's working on it still.
Oh, I just missed that.
I mean, like, so you could take out the metal roof option because they included the roof shingles.
yeah.
It was just gonna be $448 if you wanted the metal. And then you could take out the vinyl siding because they included the smart siding, so I think she put in blue.
Yep.
Yeah.
What would be
Yep,
extra,
that's right.
but yeah. I mean, as to why the prices change, I don't know. If it's just, if it's such a long chain of emails that something got lost in translation, I don't know.
How close are we?
So I guess my only question, so when I look down at this, I'm looking at Hillview, right? So we offer the horizontal sliding window 36 by 36, priced at $350 each. Is that line item 3 where the $700 is?
700,
For
yeah,
2 of those?
there's 2 of those, yeah, because we go on the last page.
So the $350 under that is just saying,
It's
hey, it's 2 at
Per.
$350?
Yeah.
Okay,
This last.
so I
page.
added those in, so that's. I'm just
Oh,
trying to figure
yeah,
out the math
he was,
right.
he split,
Yeah.
okay.
And then a window for $450. So minus $350.
So that's $4,084 for Hillview.
Because you added in the $24 for the vents.
No, because I looked at the last page.
Oh,
Well, that's what I was just looking at. I was waiting to see if her number came up. the
Well,
same.
I was comparing the
well, it
line items
did,
and,
once I added in the 24. Thanks, everyone.
Nice. I totally trusted your ability to use your calculator.
but,
But she could have just looked at the difference.
Oh,
but the first one doesn't have a total.
It's okay. The first one's total is more than that. So if you add up all the numbers that they included there, that's $6,141.80.
Okay.
Are you taking out the blue?
But yeah, if you take out the blue, you're at 51.26.
If I take out the,
still a little more. So.
Because those are options, those
Yeah,
are extra options.
oh, gotcha.
The regular shingles are included, but if we want to bump it to a metal, then that's the extra.
But I think we would want, it's included in the other one. I would go metal. quite honestly.
No, they're including either one.
Yeah.
They just said either one. Yeah.
But metal's gonna be an extra 448.
On the shed
shed
habits,
habits.
but on Hillview,
On
it doesn't
Hillview,
matter.
it doesn't matter. It's included.
They have a file of it.
You think
That's
we're
fine.
building
Yeah,
a
we'll
mansion?
metal work.
No.
But still, there's a big difference.
Still cheaper.
Hillview is way cheaper.
Who spent more time on this?
I say way cheaper, but it's.
Ay, ay, ay.
I'm kind of 51 and 36. 50.
Let's move on.
Yeah, we have to.
Big thing
We
is-
talked about this.
The big thing is the window, the sliding window. Are you happy with sliding
The
windows?
sliding windows, that's 36 by 36, so that's only an 18-inch. Get your shoulders out and
Yeah.
hand to the thing. And that's why I went with a little bigger window of the, whatever it was, the 48 or
But what do they have now?
35. I don't know what's there, to be honest with you.
Probably not much.
Yeah, I don't
They
know.
have pretty big sliding
18.
windows.
Yeah, I was trying to-
18,
yeah.
So it's probably equivalent going with an 18.
Yeah.
Because it's not huge, but it's still a sliding and it's good size.
I just wouldn't get hung up on it.
But this is all, isn't this an option for a 36 by 60
Well, that
vertical
was,
sliding?
but that's
window?
for the front.
That's for the front, that's the double hung, that's
So you-
just in the front lookout.
Okay.
And I went with the double hung just because you could put an air conditioning unit in it if you wanted to do that, instead of poking one through the wall.
Can always spend one third too. One of those holes ones.
Yeah,
Okay.
so sounds like, well, I mean, can I say that? I mean, Hillview is definitely the one that's closer.
And their timeline was quicker as well, and the price was lower.
Their timeline.
Their timeline-
Yeah, their timeline is more.
So it's a little longer, but we still need to be able to demolish
Oh,
the last
sorry.
the ones there.
That'll take a few
Right,
minutes.
but we gotta, yeah, when,
We've
the
got
snow's
like
coming, it's
2
coming.
months to get it in, so we kind of got time. to-
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're in good
either one,
shape. We
yeah.
just, if we know what we're doing, you know, I mean, let's. I love demo. You guys haven't seen me demo. Well, Tom, later.
Yeah, I guess do we call up what we want in it, just to make sure that we're taking the right options? I mean, if metal roof's
I mean-
included,
You want the metal roof?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes. So we're gonna have that. So the,
and the LP smart siding, it says it's painted. And the other one doesn't say that, so I mean, that's pretty cool. I think that's the one we go with.
so by this timeline of 4 to 5 weeks on that one, that gives us time to
Demo.
get rid of the other one and make sure that pad's good to hold another one. And get it in there before silly season comes.
Tell you, what's the number that we?
so the only option on this one is that window, the 36 by 60 versus 36.
Right, you
No.
get 36 by 36 sliding windows on the side.
Yeah.
And then the 36 by 60 on the front, which is gonna look out at the road.
And that's the way it's quoted. So if you make a motion, how we proceed with that estimate.
Right, yeah, exactly, that is how. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's gonna have to come out of capital improvement.
Okay, I make a motion that we proceed with Hillview Mini Barns estimate number 057463 in the amount of $4,084 to replace the shed at the, what do we call it, ticket booth at Bunganut, using capital improvement funds.
Second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Beautiful.
By Jove, we've done it.
Right?
I'm not
Yes.
throwing those in the fan.
I know.
That'd be,
I feel like- Need a clone. Need a clone. Fill that with trees, but-
I know, but-
Anyways. Someday I'll work done.
it's all that.
From the line. All right, review draft personnel policy.
We're almost done. Yeah, so I think that's, what section is that?
I had one thing that jumped out on me immediately. On the table of contents, it says employee personnel policy handbook, and we had crossed off employee on the front.
Okay.
So I didn't know if we would cross off employee there as well.
Yeah, I will.
Other than that, I did not read it cover to cover again, but what I did look at, I think we're really on the right track with this.
I thank you all because I did not participate in either of your workshops.
Oh, no way. I don't think. we put that
Yeah,
together.
because I think one I was sick and one I was working.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So thank you guys for all of the work that you did. I just had a few things that I wanted to bring up late in this game.
Where are we?
For me, on page 3, the Pregnancy Workers Fairness Act, the wording in that just, I don't, for me, it's when it says the town does not discriminate based on pregnancy or related conditions, including lactation and the needs to express breast milk for a nursing child, unless the discrimination is based on a bona fide occupational qualification. So on one hand, we're saying we're not going to discriminate, but we'll discriminate if it's a qualifying thing. And it's in there twice. I just think that, I don't know if there's other wording that could be used so that we're not, unless discrimination is based on. So that was one thing on that. And then on page 5,
Do you guys want to do anything before we move on though? Like, do
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
want to cross
Okay.
that out or leave it or change it?
I feel like
I
this
see
is-
your point.
I feel like this is similar to some of the other things we talked about in that it's against the law, so we don't necessarily need to write it out this way in our policy.
Yeah, so cross those.
Is this
sections out.
any verbiage that came out of the
These
act?
ones, like, if these are the Disabilities Act and Fairness Acts, I either copied them from like the Department of Human Resources or copied them from other policies mostly.
Okay.
So I'm fine with taking out, so basically it's just gonna say the town doesn't discriminate.
I like that.
If it just said, if the whole thing, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
basically,
So take out inlet, from unless to the end of that
on both
sentence,
sections, yeah.
same with the next sentence.
Okay,
And
Thank
then
you.
said
I just
section
don't-
5.
page 3, section 2.3, oh, for the next one, yes, sorry. No, page 5, 2.6, middle of the paragraph. And I kept reading it, but I was like, what is wrong in my brain? In accordance with federal law, every prospective employee is required to provide to sign a verification attesting.
I think it may be supposed to say to provide and to sign a verification.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's some punctuation.
Provide and
We
sign.
can always
Yeah.
do.
She's
Oh,
better.
Amber.
She's
I'm like,
better
if
than
I'm
a
reading
fan.
through and my brain goes, wait, what did that say? Then I'm like,
One of the things I've always admired about her is her ability. She picks up things that I totally miss.
Well, I
And I
mean,
love that.
everybody
I think
picks up
that's-
things I miss all the
Everybody,
time,
yeah.
so it's, yeah.
I actually
Um,
think to sign comes right out of that, right? You have to provide a verification and testing that you're legally employable. You can't just sign and say you are.
Yeah,
So it's like, we have people fill out those, what is it, W-4?
I-9,
Yeah.
I-9.
yeah, I-9.
I mean, we can just leave it as is required to provide verification and testing that he or she
Yep.
is legally.
Yeah, so
Let's
take
do
out to
that.
sign.
Okay. Um,
I didn't either. That's what
I think we were
I don't know,
talking about-
Rusty, your
Gee
HR,
whiz,
your
what?
HR department must be a little lacking.
What page now?
33.
Oh,
This
boy,
is-
we're moving now. Whoa.
This is just a like keystroke, 7.4, third sentence down, almost to the right. Both of the Twan. I'm thinking that should be town.
I thought we did, we picked that one up. Probably did.
We probably did.
I know we made a
It
comment.
just,
I think we made a smart comment about it.
I don't even,
and then page 47, same thing, Family Medical Leave Act, just the top line. Medical.
she'd have been at our 2 workshops, we'd have been
And
done by
then-
now.
And that was it. That's all I found.
Okay.
But you guys
Nice catch.
really did
Yes.
a lot of work. And I
Very
read
nice.
this, but I didn't realize there was a back to it. So, but I did like this too.
Yeah, I put in a generic section on 8.10.
Oh, my scribbles.
8.10, employee recognition program. I mean, we do have the merit-based one, which is based on performance. Earlier, I think it's in the either section 4 or section 3, and so this one I just kind of left it sort of blanketed, and then Vicky gave her input, so whatever you guys want to land on.
That was just my idea that we had talked about
Yeah,
during the workshop, so I just wrote it down, just like Rusty, for the next thing in the morning, wrote it down, brought it down, just while it was fresh.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and I think that keeping it like generic in the policy
Mm.
allows for the flexibility to then
Yeah.
work with things like the ideas that you would put out. It gives that flexibility, so it's not writing something in here that's like,
That
this
we
is
have
what
to
we'll do
adhere
every
to.
single year,
Right,
and then
and
3
it
years
could be
later,
tweaked,
people,
it could be tweaked in any old kind of, any way we decide to.
it just leaves some flexibility.
Yes.
So that we have an opportunity to do
Good
something.
catch.
Thank you. No, I really thank you guys for all of the work and your time at those meetings. And I'm sorry that I wasn't there.
You know us, we just love workshops.
Especially talking through HR policy.
Yeah, but I think this is important.
It
I
absolutely
mean,
is.
this is.
Yeah.
That was great.
This is good.
That wraps it up. I don't know, do you guys want to put it on the next agenda? Do you want to vote to approve it now? What do you want to do?
Can we put it on the next agenda to vote on?
Yep.
And then, we can take,
I just want to do one more like
I
double.
wanted to read it over too, again. I did it on my computer some,
Mm.
but I didn't, I'd like to have it in my hand.
Yeah.
Do it.
15th, right? Yeah.
16th. So the 15th is a holiday.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I put it on here.
Yep.
That's a holiday?
Patriots.
Yeah.
Patriots
Yeah, I
Day.
knew that, but I didn't realize it was a
Yeah.
A real holiday?
major holiday. Yeah.
Patriots,
Patriots.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Boston Marathon.
I feel like we did it.
Yes,
once
that's what
then,
my
and then
calendar
people-
said.
And then
Tax day.
people were like, how could you do a meeting on a holiday? Because the town hall was closed, so.
Okay.
Well,
And fire chief.
That
John,
changes
we have
Life.
you moved him up down the road. Let's go on to item 7, review, approve, propane rate.
Did you want? Was he here for that?
Yep,
Yeah, how we
so
doing?
I reached out to quite a few different places, but really only 2 of them responded. And, your quotes, so your propane agreements usually end around April 30th. One person suggested putting it out to, they would extend it to June 30th so that we could get better pricing. Because I usually have to start gathering quotes like mid-March to kind of prepare for end of April. So here's what I got. Do you have them in front of you, Tom?
Yep.
Who are we using right now?
Oh, yeah, that was my question.
Is it
Eastern. No, it's not Eastern. It's
Okay.
Champagne, but they were recently bought out.
Superior.
Superior.
Yeah.
Champagne was done.
Yeah,
Did not.
quite a little while ago.
Yeah.
I like,
And did they not bid on?
They did not. I did reach out to them. I didn't get a response from them. I could probably tell you what we're at right now.
I like Eastern's price.
Did anybody remember what we talked about was the price in there?
I
just wanna make sure.
remember the budget.
I don't know who's gonna go.
$2 from Fenwick. $2, 208.
Really?
So I pay, but we're in a pool. Yeah.
I think we typically.
You have a gang?
budget for like-
What a
Wow.
propane gang?
A gang, yeah.
Are
Get a
we-
little shopping.
Can you
Should
put
we
that
hold off
on
and
the
give it more of a
song? You know
timeline?
the song about the chain gang? Sure. Could we? I think we could. Sing it, Jess.
No, thanks.
Come on.
No. Sound pass. Going for the propane number.
So what we're paying now is 1.649. So here's typically budget, like what I usually tell folks, I think we only use like 900 gallons this year, which is a lot less. In the past, we've used like 1,200, 1,300. We kind of budget around like 1,400 gallons.
Right, went right. We still
We still use.
You
less
never know
gallons.
if you're gonna have a really cold winter. This year
Right.
it's a
Yeah.
little bit of an aberration. Just one that was really cold, you know, the storm's not that.
That's our
generator
number,
out, we're
900
gonna have
is
to
how
even-
we're working.
For gallons.
Yep, yep.
Yeah. What we base it off, I don't recall. I don't have it. off
So
the top of my head.
here's my question. Well, not even a question, more of a statement, I guess. So between now and let's say June 30th, I can't imagine we're gonna need that much. And if we do need, is it automatic delivery? Is it like, how is
Yeah, it's
that functional now? So if we did need it, we would pay spot market price like one time, let's say. The budget's there because we didn't spend as much this year. And then we go out and price it in June, where prices would likely be more favorable.
So do you want me to get quotes
I'm
again?
just saying it out loud to get everybody's feel for that statement. Because there's always the potential that I'm completely wrong and that in June it's gonna have jumped, but.
But I also think that the prices are gonna come down between now and then. Usually energy prices do
Yeah.
a little bit.
I'd like to see Champagne or wherever they are.
So
Superior.
when is
I-
our current contract in?
April 30th.
Okay, all right, that's, so we fill up on April 29th at the low cheap price.
But it does make sense. I mean, I like Eastern Providence. I think probably going forward, we should ask them, can you do us till June 30th so that every year the cycle falls on that timeline? Because we've always done it April 30th. But then I usually start like mid-March
Right.
or so.
Yeah, it makes total sense to
Yeah.
use you at the end of the budget.
Why?
Makes total sense.
Because it's like what, a difference of around 60 cents a gallon. So we're looking at,
169, 197.
oh, I thought you just said 120 something.
No.
And 64.
164.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's not that much. But what would our drop? be
Yeah,
that
no,
way?
no, you're fine. Never mind.
We're not really pulling heat, we're not doing, so it'd be a minor bill if we did.
Town hall, utilities, propane.
There's a difference of like $300.
24 budget, 3984. $3,984.
Did she I thought she had put a price in there of like so many gallons
Oh.
at such a price.
1,800 gallons at $2.49.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Current price is $1.79.9.
All right, so we're
Okay.
not.
You'd like to verify
So
that? 'Cause I don't have my glasses on.
Oh,
I think it's right here. It's this line right here.
okay.
Budget wise, we're probably.
Yeah, we're
60
good, yeah.
pounds.
Current pricing 179.9.
So our options, I
So there
think
we
we'd get more
budgeted
responses if we had them further up timeline to give us a number by.
So I started asking them
Oh, maybe not.
the end of
No, you're fine.
February,
No, I'm done with it.
because I try to think ahead and then I try to get it, like I never know if you guys are gonna, what the discussion's gonna be like, if we're gonna have to talk about it more. So that's why it's here now, and we still have till April 30th. So it's not like, oh, we have to make a decision right
Right.
now.
Yeah. I'd just like to get a few more numbers if we could. I like Superior does
At least Superior.
I'm not, I don't understand why people
champagne.
drop the ball. I mean, it's not like we're buying 4 gallons. It boggles the mind
Yeah,
a little bit.
probably in the big scene, 900 isn't a lot for me.
I was gonna say 900 isn't compared to some.
Yeah. But I'm sure we've been with them a while. I'm surprised that they wouldn't,
Well, we were with JP Carroll and then we switched to Champagne.
Right.
oh, this past year?
Yeah, and then
Oh.
Champagne got bought out, so we switched to those people.
Oh. Well,
I'd be interested to see if we nudge these last three, or I should say, Heather, JP and Superior, whoever's doing our current account. If maybe they would throw something in by our next meeting, and at least we'll have
Yeah.
numbers to choose from.
Does
Well-
Beaupre do propane?
Yeah, they
They
do.
do.
I mean, there's so many.
Check with them too.
I do like that Eastern was willing
I'm
to
surprised that there was that big number,
go to June 30th.
that theirs is so low.
I like it.
So is that an option?
What's that?
Can we just give them
A nudge and
see
ask
if we
for
get
more.
anything? If not, next meeting, it's next meeting, and we got what we got, we make the decision.
Yep.
And then probably, do you want to just punch it to like June 30th and say, okay,
Yeah, I think that
Yeah.
makes sense.
It makes total sense.
Can you add Beaupre fuels?
what's that?
Beaupre fuels, can you,
Oh, right.
yeah,
I'm gonna send it to you right now.
Okay.
BEAUPR. No, I
Where are
don't,
they at?
Bedford.
yeah, maybe, yeah. I know they deliver around here. And Fieldings too. Can you try Fieldings?
I have tried Fielding
Oh, yeah?
before, and I feel like,
I feel like Fielding's got bogged.
yeah,
I
I.
might have made that up though.
No, you didn't.
We used
Yeah.
them at
Fielding's only does
USM
oil.
for
I don't
the
know if they do.
ice.
No, because we
research.
have them at the library and they come and fill our tank. And we had a really good rate with them, so.
All right. well,
Sorry,
move on.
sorry.
Hey, I want to jump back to item 6 just because I see, I'll tell you, how if you got nothing, yeah, just trying to say hi.
Item.
Didn't want to go over you. Was that it?
What? What are you doing?
Oh, I was just, Tom's back there and I kind of ignored him under departments
Well-
and I was like, yeah.
So I thought we agreed that if people wanted to put a department report in,
Yeah.
they would write it
Yeah.
up.
He's just here.
Yeah.
We're all good.
Well, what do you guys want to do?
I'm
Because
fine. He
Yeah.
was just asking if you had anything to say. That's
Sorry.
all.
I just love to talk.
Gonna go
All right, we're gonna go on. She's dealing with the propane rates. Let's do annual town meeting date and time.
yeah, I only put this on here because it come up to me like, so I know we've done it during the week at like 6 p.m. or something like that. And so I guess people have said that, it's really difficult to show up at that time. So I was just trying to like, I don't really know the answer to get public participation at your town meetings other than, people have to commit to it. Because I don't know necessarily changing the date or time is going to just like, that's gonna, your participation's gonna increase tenfold. But, maybe it's worth thinking about trying to get kind of more folks in. And I don't know, people are saying, 6 o'clock on a, Wednesday or Thursday is just kind of challenging because they're getting out of work, they're getting the kids fed and stuff like that. So I don't know if you guys want to consider weekend options, later evenings.
We came from-
We did Saturdays for a long time and when we went to the weekdays, the participation, in my estimation, stayed about the same.
Oh, yeah.
So,
For me, it's about commitment, right? Because like for 2 years, I kept saying, I'm gonna go to a select board meeting, and I never did it. It took me 2 years. I finally had to write it on my calendar and be like, I'm gonna get out of work early. I'm going to the select board meeting. I had to commit to it. So I
Yeah.
think no matter what time you make it, it's like people are gonna have to commit. You have to
Yeah.
make
yeah.
I
and then-
remember the discussion when it was Saturday, they wanted to move because people didn't, summers are so short.
In
They
June,
didn't want to, in June.
Saturdays in June, and weddings and graduations, and that were conflicted, and things. Personally, my own personal self, I don't really like it during the week, because when you get out of work and you got that rush that you're talking about, and I'm tired, and I don't think as well as Saturday mornings. However, I'm not suggesting that we go back to Saturdays, because that was really something people didn't like. What if we push back the start time by a half an hour? I wonder if that would help.
The other
And start it
thing-
at 6:30 instead of 6. Give people a little bit of extra time to motivate and throw some groceries down their neck and come down.
The other thought that I have too is I just think about, and this isn't to be rude, right, just the demographic that I'm alongside on the regular with people, parents with kids. Like my husband won't come, he'll be home with my kids. So I just can't help but wonder if where I grew up, we always had like parks, like our rec department did like a childcare thing. And I just wonder if that's something we could maybe investigate as an option, so that I'm certainly not saying that all of a sudden all of the young parents are gonna come and get involved, but there's the potential at least for that. But I know that comes with its own set of
Hmm.
rules and all that, but I don't think it's that much different than having an Easter egg hunt at the school, since parents are still on site technically, so.
Yeah, I can reach out and ask, Parks and Recs if that's something they wouldn't mind.
And
Just
I'm
solve
certainly
it.
not
Yeah.
volunteering
Probably
the
not for
Parks
this
and
year.
Rec people to like be the childcare, but maybe somehow working with like kids in high school that need community service or something, I don't know. I want to just put that, I'm not volunteering anybody to be the babysitters of the kids.
I would rather see it stay on Thursday evening
I would
for
like the
now,
extra
or is
half
it
hour.
Wednesday?
It's Thursday.
Okay, and I'd soon keep it there, and unless anybody in the public wants to come forward and fire up their emails and let us know what they're thinking. For now,
I could do a survey too. I could put out blast a survey, like what are people's thoughts?
I
I don't
think
know.
I
the
was-
only stipulation in the charter was that it has to be the same week of the election. Because we talked about this at length, one of our meetings, because Judy St. Ange mentioned how when it was on Saturday, it was like a potluck and it was like a big fun
Yeah.
kind of thing, but then it
I mean,
was
I was
still the
thinking,
same kind of
like,
people.
Because in Parsonsville, like, we used to set up like a coffee station and get donuts and like, some
Yeah.
people, people would kind of come and meet and greet. It would be like, we'd be open like an hour early and it'd just be like hanging out, talking to people, drinking coffee kind of deal. But we don't get as much, we get like 20 or 30 people that show up, so.
but that used to be the way. I mean, that was like everybody's spring coming out party. Like they were holed up all winter, and they didn't have a lot of social activity, and so the town meeting was the place to be.
I like the idea of potluck.
Yeah, I
When-
know, I love the
yeah,
idea of,
like-
having some refreshments or something like that there, just.
I'm very food driven, so that's just my opinion.
Plain dark chocolate for all.
And then-
Yes.
I'm gonna get you to get the whole day off.
Call my boss. She's not gonna talk to you,
No.
because you send her those emails about gift cards all the time.
Oh,
Yeah, really.
Stop doing that.
Yeah,
I got the
Rusty.
same one.
Did you get it? That was my
I got it.
curiosity.
You notice that on those emails, it'll say, Ralph Rusty Blackington. It's
Yeah.
like, when does Rusty ever type
Yeah.
them out like that? Do you
Oh,
want
there
to
were a
do
lot
a
of things.
survey or something, and just kind of pick people's
I don't think it
brains?
could hurt.
It can't hurt.
Yeah, it's not gonna hurt to gather
Or we
information.
could make it,
We could be totally
we could
surprised.
keep it the way it is.
Mhm.
And we could have a survey at the town meeting, so the people that come what would you prefer? And so for moving forward, we could have the idea of what they think, whether they like Saturdays or evenings or during the week or whatever. And then it would
Both then,
like
I
a,
was gonna say, I'd say both, because I don't want to defeat the purpose of people that
that aren't gonna
don't
come.
Yeah.
come or can't.
yeah,
come.
no, you're right. That makes point. That's a good point.
And then hit the ones that are coming also.
And then maybe include in the survey what Vicky just suggested, it starting a half hour later, at 6:30 as opposed.
I'd like,
Oh, we can just totally give them options.
I like to see
Start at 5.
I like it when people come to those. I mean,
Well,
I've seen,
supper on-
we've all seen the town meeting load up for the problematic or contentious questions only to empty out again.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
after that warrant article goes, so it's hard to say how to get people to come participate in the whole thing. I mean, I don't know.
So you want me to switch it to 6:30 PM at the very least though, for this June?
I do.
I
Okay,
would.
I think it would help.
Families,
then I'll put out a
I
survey.
mean, how late do we go?
Um,
5 o'clock?
Depends on what,
Depends.
Yeah.
depends on what we chat about, Rusty.
Right,
Sometimes you get stuck on the $250 question and
that's right.
sometimes you don't. So, but I feel like our budget session went really well. I feel like we're prepared. And I think that if we maybe have a workshop pre-hand and think about what potential questions are, that we could go to the town meeting and be armed with the answers for the people when they ask the questions that we, so we can keep the communication open and move it on, and it'll move along.
Well, we'll do a public hearing too, once
Yeah.
we get
Yeah,
the
we're
warrant
required.
article.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's true, too.
And it-
We'll get a feel for
it's really helpful having Jeanette there. I mean, that first time where things went really sideways and she was accused of not saying anything, was because she had a physical problem and she was in pain. And the questions weren't answered really well, and that got people riled up. And that was like 3 years ago, or last year, and year before, when she was there answering financial questions.
I was that wasn't, I wasn't.
That was when,
Oh,
yeah, I'm not gonna say who the chair was and all, get, but
Yeah.
I didn't know exactly what
I
you're
know.
talking about.
But I know it had to be more than that, because I was in the gym. I wasn't a
Oh,
select.
I was gonna say.
I was on
don't
the select
remember.
board, and I remember going, I didn't know the people, I was like, why isn't she saying something? Wasn't she saying something? And then found out afterwards that she was in real pain. So,
She's a trooper though.
oh gosh, yeah.
In fact, she even came to the,
She takes she knows her stuff. So,
well, we talked the other night. She was very well prepared for the other night. And I said,
Yeah.
hey, are you willing to explain that just like that at town meeting? And she said, yes. I was like, that's cool. Cause she explained it way better than I could have.
Are we looking for moderators
Oh, that's
also?
true. Thank you.
Do you want me to look for different moderators?
I think we had discussed that at one time.
I don't
What else did I
remember.
do that?
I don't remember.
From October.
Could have just gone.
Yeah, I know we did, but I don't know.
Regardless, we need a monitor. so.
And then I only had the other, which I kind of said before, is the 15th is a holiday, so we'll be closed, so the select board meeting will be pushed to the 16th.
No?
School vacation.
Feels like that.
What, do you think you got something going on that day?
Oh, man, without looking at my big calendar on the wall.
Was that what you're doing right now?
I'm just picturing my wife's social events that she has for the calendar. That's the one I'm like right now.
Oh, Scott. It's school vacation week, so
Hmm,
it's entirely possible.
There's something in my,
Well, I didn't have to deal with it.
something,
Oh,
Yeah.
not to worry. Softball's also starting.
I lived through all those years too.
Where you're gonna be in Niagara Falls.
I don't know the day, I know it's somewhere in that week. I'm supposed to take the day trip, but. Oh, that's 3 days.
I'm like, it seems like an awful quick day trip.
Yeah.
Even when the microphone's in the sky, it's still on.
Live mic, live mic. Wow, reason.
I know. I'm looking for more.
No, I said don't jinx us.
Can we do another?
What do you mean, like another?
Isn't there other on here?
Yeah, I just did one.
Oh, but I'd like to ask the road commissioner how much damage from the last storm. I saw you drive by my house.
Just a lot of tree branches in the road. People want them cleaned up immediately. We get them all out. They're all out of the road. I took them all from the fire department, like back and forth. And we cleaned up all the sides, pushed everything off to the side. And as soon as this storm we're having go by, I'm gonna take it by, chip everything up and go back and forth.
Did you see my driveway?
That's the other tree, the other part of that tree.
That was part of that one that was, I was like, that thing
All
couldn't
the
have,
trees, there's a mess at every town.
everybody.
Mm.
Some places,
Portland.
it's funny too, how the damage happens, like you see it sporadically around. And then there's a whole like run of 4 or 5 trees in a row that went out. And then you might drive a half mile and see nothing. And then, one here, one there, and then 6. It's crazy. There's no rhyme or reason to it.
No,
I know that,
I did well.
I said it in our budget meeting on Saturday night, between 9 o'clock and 9:19, I got 6 alerts from the fire department from trees down. Just in those 19 minutes, 6 trees down, I was like, holy.
Yeah, then they were fighting the fire on Route 5.
Yes.
They called me, a tree was down on
We're so lucky there.
the side road, went pushed out of the way, said, hey, we're on fire, can you go and get, yeah. So, tree branches, the
Oh,
ones that were just hanging,
oh,
cut them back and push everything off to the side, now people are still, hey, when are you gonna pick them up, you gonna, I'm like, they're out of the way, they're on nobody's way, they don't look good right now, but no tree.
No town
There'll
does.
probably be another pile of them come Wednesday.
Right,
Yeah.
so
Oh,
after
gosh.
after that, hopefully when it's over, we'll be,
I have another too.
Not
I do.
good.
I have another.
Another other?
Because of the storms that we've had, and I neglected to mention this, somehow, every once in a while, every few years, CMP calls me. Ever since I was on the board before, every time they need to replace a pole in town. Like, it's like they're dig safe for the municipality. So I'm like, I feel okay to be taking those phone calls now because, I'm on the board and stuff, but even when I wasn't, I would just say, yep, okay.
That's fine.
Thanks for letting me know.
What I wanted to
That's all
say,
no.
now that we have a town manager, she might want to receive those phone calls. I don't know. I don't mind taking them or whatever, but CMP should be notified that, I don't know that that's my responsibility,
Yeah.
even though I took it on. Yeah, it cracks me up actually, because it's about every 3 years it comes back.
Wow.
It's because their computers go down, they go back to their paperwork.
Yeah.
Don't tell them there's gonna be somebody robbing the place, and you want me to go in? Wait a minute.
Okay, I make one to adjourn.
Second that.
All in favor?
Look at
Want
that.
to discuss first?
No, I'm good.
7:08.
It's April Fool's Day, Rusty. I had to do it.
That was like, oh,
What's big now?
Nope, I'm good.
7:08.